morning, Earthlings. Good afternoon, everyone. It's not good morning, it's good afternoon. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I am out delivering food. Last night, I was dealing with a headache, and it was kind of a nagging headache, but as the evening progressed, it got worse and worse, and then this morning, it was a full-on, bad headache. I got up and took some pain meds, and called my work to tell them that I would not be able to come in today. So I did not go to the bookstore today. Luckily for me, they're a company that doesn't, freak out about calling off and such. And then I obviously took those meds and then went back to sleep. And when I got up this morning, it was just a little bit better. And then I had my morning coffee, and now it's pretty much okay now. I can still feel like the pressure behind my eyes that I get from when I get the migraines. But other than that, the pain is subsided, and it's just a pressure thing now. So I have hopped in the car and I'm delivering because whenever I don't make money on one end, I have to make money on the other end. And so I was already planning on working this evening anyway after the bookstore, but now I've gotten a little bit of an early start to it. And because of all of this, I haven't gotten anything done for the vlog until just now. So let's get it cracking. So I didn't do much reading last night. I did a little bit of reading in the Montgomery book. I have not decided what I'm going to read fiction-wise, and maybe it is that I'm going to take just a small break from fiction and read some nonfiction stuff, which is fine. I do like me some nonfiction things, and I picked up some really cool ones from work, some cool paperbacks, so I might just read through those really quick. The thing about nonfiction books for me is that I don't like fluff in nonfiction, so I tend to go through them pretty quick, because when I can tell a paragraph is just going to be like fluff describing the emotions surrounding or the specifics of how the room looked or whatever, I skip over that stuff, because when I read nonfiction, it's just about the facts and whatever it is I'm reading about. I just want to get to the point of it, so I tend to tear through those pretty quick, whereas with fiction, I kind of relish in and enjoy all of the descriptive things that authors do for that type of thing. Yoga's been going good, but I do know that I have been kind of slacking with it. I haven't been pushing myself very much lately. Maybe it's that I'm a little sore, and maybe I felt this headache coming on. I don't know really, but I haven't been pushing myself too hard. But I have been doing really well with the diet. I've been back on the vegan thing. Ooh, let me show you breakfast. So yeah, I've been doing good on the vegan thing, and yoga's been kind of iffy, but I'm still doing it every day, so at least I'm being active every day, which is an upgrade to from where I was before. But I'm at home now. I had to go pick up Zachary from school, so I'm chilling here until a little bit later when I'll clock back on to do some more delivering. In the meantime, I'll see what I can get accomplished, such as practicing piano, maybe get yoga done. Would be nice to be done with all of that stuff a little earlier on in the day. With that being said, let's get down to Zen Quote of the Day, shall we? Quote of the day comes from the Bible. It was spoken by Jesus, and you can find it in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7, and it goes a little bit like this. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door will be opened unto you. Quite often, I will get people who find out that I practice law of attraction and who are offended by that, saying that they are Christians, and that contradicts with their belief system. And I always find that interesting. I never argue with them about it because I don't see the point. But what's interesting is that I was brought up Christian, and I don't consider myself not a Christian now. And I think that it's really interesting that certain faiths think that there's no overlap between any other religions, that you can't find or eke anything good outside of the religion that they practice. And that's fine. I'm not placing judgment, but I just find it interesting. And so it always brings me great joy to find, quotes or quote things from the Bible that actually support and, give weight to the laws of attraction. I mean, if the laws of attraction exist, and you're a Christian, then it stands to reason that they would have been put in place by God. So this Bible verse is pretty straightforward, right? Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you shall find the answer. knock and the door will be opened unto you. I think that sounds really great, right? And so a lot of times, especially Christians will look at this verse and they say, well, I asked and it didn't happen. I sought after it and I didn't find it. And I knocked and the doors, the pathway wasn't open to me. And then they lose faith and then they chuck all of their beliefs aside and say, it's not real or it doesn't work. And a lot of those devout Christians who encounter significant struggle or conflict and find that their prayers or beliefs or questions are not answered become staunch atheists. It's really astounding. I don't know that I can speak to the ideology of why that happens, and I don't know that I can sit in judgment of anyone who walks that pathway. All I can do is maybe offer some insight as to why one might ask and not be given unto, and one might seek and not find, and why one might knock and not have the door open to them. So I've put in some headphones. In that last clip, Zach was talking on his video game, so we got a little bit of kind of intermingling of conversation, but this should alleviate the situation, so let's get on with it. So why would a person not receive when they ask? Why would a person not find what they're looking for when they've sought for it? And why won't the door be open to somebody who has knocked? Well, there's a pretty simple reason as to why. Different religions call it different things, but in the Christian faith, we call it faith. And a lot of times we think that faith is just asking and simply believing that it's going to happen. And we are oftentimes very surprised when it doesn't happen for us. Why doesn't it happen? Well, the answer is that it's not just as simple to just believe, right? It's fine to believe and it's great to ask, especially since, that's the most important part of it is asking, right? Well, after we ask, if we don't move about our way, walk down a pathway, and behave as though we have already received the thing that we have asked for, it cannot come. If we sit around and we look around into the empty space where that thing we've asked for is supposed to appear, and we go, there's an empty space, there's an empty space. It's not appeared. It's not here yet. I keep seeing an empty space. All I see is an empty space. There's an empty space. All that can manifest is that empty space. But if we were to look at that space where it's supposed to appear, just for example, and believe it so intrinsically that we actually physically see the object there, if we can smell the object in the presence, if we can feel how we would feel if we were to physically see that object there, and if we can grasp onto that emotion, grasp on to that vision, grasp onto that focus and hang on to it, it must appear. And this is where we start to become a little bit lax in faith, so to speak, is that a lot of times we ask and then we go, well, I believe it's there, and then we sit around and look at all of the reasons why it's not there, as opposed to hunkering down and focusing extra hard on all of the good emotion, all of the good feeling, and on all of the belief that is already here. We also look at the story of Job in the Bible. He was tested in every possible way, physically, mentally, emotionally, and throughout the entirety of all of that, he refused to take the physical evidence or the evidence of his current situation as being the truth. He believed that he was not being forsaken, and he refused to allow his faith and his focus to be anything other than that of a faithful, devout individual, believing that all of this was for a purpose and believing that what he needed would come. And because of that, he eventually came out the other end and was blessed by the Lord. And this is the type of faith that we lack in today's day and age. We want everything so quickly, and we want it now, and we want it easily. And sometimes the big things in life that you want are not going to be easy, and we have to get a little bit tougher. It's important to remember that focus can be work. It's important to remember that belief can be work. It's important to remember that the laws of attractions sometimes they take work. Sometimes you have to get in your journal and journal every day. Sometimes you have to work yourself into a way of daily living that promotes and supports what it is that you intend to manifest. And that's why sometimes you can't manifest multiple big things at one time. You have to focus on each thing individually, and as you achieve one, you begin work on another one. And it's important to remember that we are going to have to put a little bit of work in sometimes. And yes, this way of manifesting things in your life is significantly easier than going out into the world and trying to trudge around until you finally find it by happenstance. This is a much more focused and much more faithful way of walking. And to me, that is so very close to exactly what Jesus was asking us to do, was walk by faith, focus, and intention. And that, in and of itself, is a tremendous legacy and a beautiful love story. Remember, guys, it's all about focus and intent. The more keenly we are focused, the more sharp our intent is. The more vividly we can see the end result of what we want in our mind, and the closer we get to actually envisioning it to a point of realism, the quicker that it can manifest in our life. And so often it's easy to get frustrated by the fact that you've asked and not received, or that you have sought and not found, or that you've knocked and not seen the door open. But how focused are you? How strong is your faith? Are you willing to do the work that it takes to get there? If you're not, then maybe it is that you're not quite ready for the thing that you're asking for. And maybe you are ready for the thing that you're asking for, but you're just not doing the work. Today's the day, guys. Take the first steps towards what it is that you want to manifest. It really just is as simple as asking, believing, focusing very keenly, and walking in a way that shows that you are ready for it. And with that, guys, I'm going to leave you for today. I love you very much. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, how's it going? I am home after a nice long day of delivering, cooking a little bit of dinner for Zach and I. Zach's having chicken nuggets, and I'm having another sweet potato concoction. I showed you guys before the apple cinnamon one that I did, and this time I'm doing some with chickpeas, kale, apple again, a little bit of soy sauce, some garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of cinnamon as well, just to make it a little fragrant. So it's pretty interesting. I'll show it to you. I forgot to mention that I also put a tofurkey sausage in there, and it's the kielbasa sausage. So yeah, that's just the gist of it, and I just cooked it all on top of the stove. And I already have the sweet potato cooked, so I'm just reheating it in the microwave, and then I'm gonna pile this on top and gobble it up. So that's it for today, guys. I promise I don't just eat sweet potatoes and chickpeas, but I cooked larger portions of each one of those things. And so I'm just kind of finishing off that stuff so that I don't waste anything. And but that's it for today. And I had a good day. I made a lot of money delivering, and tomorrow, and my headache's completely gone. So that's, whew, thank goodness for that. But tomorrow I'm back at the bookstore from 10 to 2, and then after that I'm delivering after we help a friend move for a little bit. So that's the gist of it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!